everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Belly Up Sports Network. Today, we're going to talk about cutting some dead weight from the Detroit Lions. Get your sorry butt out of here. But I'm going to bring in right now my co-host, one of my co-hosts, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And today, Jim, Mike, and I talk about the main course, some cuts on the roster, the Hall of Fame, and you know we got to talk about news and rumors. But as always, hey, join the family. Subscribe to the channel. We don't got fans. We don't got viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Let's get this thing started
right now.
There you go.
You heard him. What's going on, Lion fans? Welcome back. We are here to talk about creating cap space, roster cuts, and much more. So let's get into this subject. What you got for me, Jim?
Oh man, we cut somebody else, and not a big loss. We cut Christian Jones, who should have been cut a long time ago and not given. Why in the world did he ever get an extension, Curt?
I don't know, man. They like him. I don't know. I mean, I met some of his family. If you don't know, I met some of his family on a cruise last year, and it seems like a pretty nice family. You know, pretty cool guy. But as far as the Lions was concerned, I'm not sure. It was one of those things where, hey, you know, he fit the mold as what Matt Patricia likes for his defense: big and slow linebackers. That's what it is. Right. He fit the mold. He wanted players that move like he does. They big and slow, just like him. So that's what he got on the roster. Between him and Tavai, I mean, I swear they got to combine 40 time in about 20 seconds. I mean,
they time him with the hourglass.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
I think that he had his body transformation, and he tried to really. I think that's one of the reasons why he had his extension, because he got himself in shape, and but it. There's one thing you can't teach, and there's one thing you can't learn. If you don't have it, you don't have it, and that's speed. And that's one of the things that hampered him definitely in getting to the quarterback and in coverage. I won't say he was the worst linebacker, but shoot, he was pretty close.
Yeah. You know what?
Well, him and Tavai,
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if it's because he's a Jones, why I just got a soft spot for Christian Jones. I don't know what it is, man, but you know what? He was not good when he was an off-the-ball linebacker, but when he came down on the line and played the more of the D-end role, he wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. It's just that when he got in open space, he just moved like a typical Patricia guy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Lethargic in space, but I'm glad for the cap space, but man, another Jones down, man.
Man, I'm sorry for your loss.
You were getting cooked down the field, brother.
So we made a Marcus. Why do I always call it Trufant Marcus every single time? It's Desmond, but
yeah,
we cut Trufant, which I know Curt loves. We cut Jones, which is one of Curt's favorite players as well. I mean, to cut, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're making all these moves, creating space. Mm-hmm. We probably have about, after everything's said and done, maybe about $8 million right now to the good, depending on what that floor is, depending on what that cap is going to be. There's so many moving parts, but let's try to project out. Who do you think is going to be next? Who's next?
Who is next? It's got to be Justin Coleman. Justin Coleman is next. Coleman is next. Yeah. He has the biggest cap hit right now on the Lions. I think right around like 11 million or something like that. It's going to be a cut for him. We can get younger, especially in the slot corner position with him. The bad thing about that is that the fact that Justin Coleman coming into the Lions from Seattle is one of the best slot corners in the league. But he comes to a team, he's playing out of position just because of the fact that a lot of our corners got hurt. So he's always playing out of position on the outside. And it's just one of those things where then he gets hurt. So you look at it, his time in Detroit was kind of wasted. Now he's an older slot corner where he's not going to get what the market is, was when he came to Detroit. So it's a bad situation for him as far as monetary wise. But like I said with the other guys, hey, tip your service on the way out, drive safe.
Who you got next, Mike?
Man,
who do you think's gonna get cut next?
Oh man, Jesse James.
Jesse James, very good candidate.
Jesse James, he has to go.
Yep.
You know what? And the thing is Jesse James isn't that bad of a player. No. Jesse James is more of a casualty because I was really against Hockenson, like not now, but I was like, we just signed Jesse James to a contract. Why are we drafting a tight end in the top 10 when we just signed a tight end to a pretty wealthy contract?
And so I was against that. Tight ends that well.
Right, exactly. That we have a history of just, so I didn't like that move. So now that we have Hockenson and we have Hunter Bryant, Jesse James has to go. So yeah,
that's a good one. I think it might be Danny Shelton, who's another one that's up for shopping.
No.
I just think it might happen. I think Penasini played well. I'm not sure, that they're not going to draft a D tackle or they might go after another D tackle, but they did. I don't think it's that big of a cut, and I kind of hope he stays. I thought he played pretty well. But we also cut center Russell Bodine as well and saved $850,000 on the cap with him as well. So that was another cut. We signed Mike Ford.
Who was Russell Bodine?
Yes.
He was backup center.
Was he actually on the 53-man roster anytime this season?
Yes.
Yes. Yep. He had to
really
got cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, man, I couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
Right.
Well,
but you know what?
Show you though how valuable Frank Ragnow is because of the fact that
absolutely
even when Frank Ragnow went down, I don't remember Russell Bodine being in the starting roster lineup.
I think he got hurt or something. Something.
Yeah,
happened,
I don't remember him. Not saying he wasn't on the roster. I just don't remember him. So
I don't either.
Like I said,
we saved $850,000.
Yeah, we did.
If I walk past him on the street, I think he's another big guy walking down that.
Right.
I just
yep.
know who he is. So. But hey, Russell, hey man, do us a favor. Keep your server on the way out, And
he gone.
Hey, and safe travel.
And safe travels. So is there anybody else you guys see that could do? There's some cuts that I would like to make, but I don't think it's even possible to make.
Yeah, some things you just can't trim too much of the fat off.
Right.
One guy that I know they're shopping right now, he may not be a cut candidate, but he might be on the way out the door as a Chase Daniel, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to be out the door. The one guy that I thought was going to be on his way out the door restructured his contract to stay, and that was Jamie Collins. I thought he was going to be out the door as well, just because of the fact that we talked about, his level of play last year was inconsistent. So I for the amount of money that we were paying for him to be on the roster, his play was inconsistent. So I thought he was going to be maybe a casualty, but they restructured his contract. So I don't see with the guys that we have that we already said, I don't see a lot more that we can trim, because you don't want to handicap yourself where you don't have anyone on the roster. We know the roster was bad, but you don't want to have a worse roster getting rid of too many players.
Right. Yeah, I know you got to replace the players you cut, and that's the difficult part. But I do think Justin Coleman is one that's going to be up for it really, really soon. I believe that 100%.
Me too. I believe that Mike Ford's signing kind of seals Justin Coleman's fate, because Mike Ford is like a wild card. He can play inside, outside, and he's good, and he's young. So,
and he's
Coleman. He is. Speed.
He gone.
And he can play special teams as well. So that's one thing I like about him.
Yes. He has an attitude too. He plays with a little attitude, little feistiness too, man. So
And then that's one of those players that Aubrey Pleasant is like, ooh, I can't wait to get to that. That's one of those guys with Mike Ford. He really wants to work with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go into that in the news and rumors on different candidates that we could be cutting and stuff. I got 3 of them today, so we'll get to that in a little bit. You know what? I think the Lions are making the moves I would want them to make. I think that the cuts that they've made are people that we wanted to have out the door already. So what do you guys think? What do you think about the moves so far, the new regime, with the cuts?
With the cuts?
I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy too.
I'm happy.
Hey, we all agree on something. What?
Yeah, right. I mean, we can't complain. Being a Lions fan in the off season so far, there's nothing to complain about. I mean, you know, there's nothing. I mean, you can kind of nag on the whole Stafford thing, but besides that, there's nothing to complain about. There's not. Yeah. We're good right now.
I mean, like, you know, it's like, you know, 4 or 5 moves or whatever. It's kind of like, you know, I'm still in that wait and see mode. You know, you're like, hey, you know, interesting.
It's kind of like getting all the puzzle pieces together. You know what I mean?
And you're still kind of, as a fan base, you're still kind of filling out Brad Holmes. You know how he works. Yeah. His intricacies, because you can't really go off of him at the Rams because he was a director of college scouting. He wasn't the full-time GM, so he's going to have to work into his role as his own. He's not Les Snead's protege anymore. He's his own man in Detroit.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And we're going to have to see what moves are coming up this week. If the tag has not changed, that's today, right? Isn't the tag situation
4 o'clock today?
I haven't heard anything from the league right now, but it might change.
Not either. So at 4 p.m. today, we will know the fate of Kenny Golladay.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be something we'll cover tomorrow, obviously, because we won't be there today. But 4 p.m. today, watch out, folks. Kenny Golladay. Hopefully the decision comes down today. If not, we'll report on what the league has said tomorrow. Now we're going to go to the Wall of Fame, and we have some gold members on the Wall of Fame. Dr. Detroit is a gold member. Gridiron Blitz, Randy Prince, Gnomish J is a silver member, and the bronze members are Midwest Lion, Detroit Drew, Bubba Bo, and Art Allen. We really appreciate all of you, and if you want to become part of the family in the membership area, you can click the Join Now button right below the video, and you get more information on that. So I thought it's really cool. We're getting a lot of members. And reminder, 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon, we're going to have a live Q&A for our gold members. If you're not a gold member yet, hit the Join Now button, become a gold member, get involved in that live Q&A on Thursday. So now, guys, let's see, where are we going to go after that? We're going to go to your comment cards. So we're going to go to the comment cards right now. Mike and Chris G, the Lions are treated like crap. Refs, NFL, and the media. Sheila has to change it starting at the NFL meetings. She has to put the NFL in its place when we get screwed by the refs. You know, Ford Motor Company could walk up to the league and tell them if it doesn't stop, we're pulling our advertising. Money talks. I'm kind of with you, Mike and Chris G. What do you guys think about this?
I hear what they're saying. I get what you're saying with the money talks and BS walks. But you don't think General Motors is licking their chops waiting? Go ahead and walk away from the advertising dollars. You don't think General Motors is waiting to get that slot? Yeah, General Motors was a long time the official sponsor of the Super Bowl. They gave out the trucks. Remember the Silverados they were giving out? So there may be a way to handle that without threatening the Ford Motor companies, you know. But I understand what you're saying. There needs to be accountability at the league level on how the Lions are treated. I get that 100%. But that may not. That's just me. There may not be. That may not be because. What is that? There's always somebody that's waiting to take your spot. So
isn't that true?
You don't think Hyundai or Hyundai or Kia or whoever they're waiting.
Yeah, right,
Range Rover. Right. Oh yeah, give up those advertising dollars if you want to.
What do you think, Mike?
I think Sheila does have to be a presence in that meeting with she has to be, she has to command the respect. I'm here. You're not gonna do us like this. You know what I'm saying? I pull the team off field. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so
stick
now
Dan
y'all
Campbell
can,
on him.
right. I put them off the field, and then y'all can play y'all defense against y'all offense, and we go back in the locker room until y'all want to call the game right. So
I'm gonna stick the Detroit Lions coaching staff on them. They look to be some crazy people over there.
right.
Dan Campbell, you know,
guys over there on them sidelines.
right.
biting kneecaps and you know,
Doing it all.
To bite some NFL official kneecaps, maybe. I don't know. All right, Curt, what you got next?
All right, it's the friend of the show, Bubba Bo says, gotta get Mike added to the intro. Keep him
That
on.
was done
he
today.
Is a permanent member of the team, so Bubba Bo, he ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere. You know, Big Mike is in the house. Big Mike, what you got next?
Oh man, I'm not able to pull it up. So, Jim, what you got next?
I got C. Perry. Hold on. Yeah, I got C. Perry here. Should the Lions consider trading a third-round pick for Odell Beckham Jr. if he's willing to restructure? Hard no for me. I don't know. Do you want that here? Really? I don't know if I want that here. What do you guys think?
Man, don't take it to me like I'll take OBJ.
You take
right.
I don't know, man. I just don't know because he kind of hasn't fit in wherever he's went to me. You know what I'm saying? Is it a locker room issue? What is it with him?
Man, OBJ is OBJ. He gonna but here's my thing. As long as he get that job done do it within the white lines, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. He's got talent. No denying the talent there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No. I love OBJ, man.
But would you give up?
I mean, and even yeah. I mean, I would because OBJ is still under 30. You know what I'm saying? OBJ is OBJ. I mean, he might bring that little bit of pizzazz that we need on offense. He might attract that attention on himself, where we can get people like Hawkinson and Swift and open field and you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't mind it. I don't mind it, man. I mean, OBJ, Kenny Golladay, Hawkinson, Terrell Williams. The second
question is, can we afford all those people and still have a defense?
I mean, we actually, if you check the cap, we're actually the best team in the cap in the NFC North. We're actually above everybody. We're right underneath the average bar in the NFL. So we're right at 21. 19 is the average. So I mean, we can create the space, man. I got confidence in those guys.
Yeah, Disney Magic. You know what I'm saying?
Disney Magic is gonna have to happen. I got Joshua Demick. I think the refs are in the pocket of Vegas. Whenever it looks like the Lions will win a game, they're supposed to. The refs ensure we lose. And I get that. I see it too. I don't know about being in the pockets, but something's going on.
They're walking across the street to the MGM in Detroit and making those bets.
It's legal now, so you know.
Yeah, hey, you know, it's one of those things. We definitely see what's going on in the league. We're not blind.
We're not blind.
Yeah.
What you got next, Curt?
Weston Rhea says, I definitely think that the Lions are not treated fairly. I just saw an interview with Dan Campbell where the interviewer asked him how much could he bench and if he could win a fight with some guy. Come on, man. You can't give the head coach a football question. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with that? Why would you even ask Dan Campbell that? You know, the general respect of asking some football questions. So I hear you, Weston. Yeah, you can't just ask him about fighting somebody and biting. You know what I'm saying? We know he's a fired up guy, but he is the head coach of a National Football League team. Right. And ask him some proper questions. You know what I'm saying? All right. Next up,
I think that was the Pat McAfee show, though. I think they were both considered meatheads in that way, and I think that's what they were doing, just having some fun.
Anyway. All right. Midwest Lion as no, absolutely not. We've been treated fairly by the league. We have not, or by the refs. This goes back decades. Hopefully, the notorious SFH whips him into shape because Dan Campbell won't put up with that.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
see him.
Yeah.
I can see a referee backing up from him on the sideline. He won't even go near him doing a challenge flag.
I
Right.
can't. Yeah, I
Right.
can't wait to see that. I just can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a little bit of that treatment though goes back to what me and you were talking about that one day, Jim, about the Thanksgiving Day game.
It could be.
I really think that Willie Clay's, not wanting to give that up really has a lot to do with the unfair treatment that's going on. So,
But this is just a rumor because I can't substantiate it. But I have a guy that was a source, and I can't say much more than that. And I know that sounds terrible, but he had said it had something to do with Paul Tagliabue, where the owners were trying to get him in without a vote or do something underhanded, and they were doing a couple other things like that. And then William Clay Ford stood up and said no. And I guess the conversation between them was, we're never going to allow your team to win again. I don't know if that is fact or fiction. I'm just putting it out there.
tell it to Dan Campbell.
So I'm hoping those NFL officials have died now, and we can go move forward.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, we're talking about Tagliabue. That's a while ago.
That's a while ago.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping Dan Campbell can go in there and bite some kneecaps, and let's get this thing right. Let's be treated fairly, so I don't have to take 2 games out a year for officiating when I make my season predictions.
All right, don't make them hurt nobody.
Okay, we're going to go now to the Detroit Lions news and rumors. And the first thing up for bids is the Detroit Lions. We have 3 candidates, and going along with our cutting thing for release or restructure. First is Justin Coleman, of course, because he saves us $5 million. But he will be a post-June 1st cut. Now, I want to explain this a little bit. The guidelines for the pre and post-June 1st cut. After June 1st, you can spread out the dead cap space. His would be $6 million. So you can spread it out over a couple of years. And that's okay after June 1st. Before June 1st, you have to eat the entire amount of the dead cap on this cap this year. Now, one thing also is you have to take this into account. You can designate up to 2 players being cut post June 1st and cut them now. Instead of having to wait till June 1st, you designate them as post June 1st cuts, and then you can spread out that cap money after June 1st, but you can cut those players now. So there's 2 per roster that you can do that with. So then we got Big V, another one candidate for restructure, because cutting Big V would be next to impossible, but the Lions should ask him to restructure. He costs $14.6 million if he's cut by June 1st. Just can't eat that kind of money. Jesse James, tight end, releasing him this offseason could save the Lions as much as $5 million on the salary cap if he is designated a post-June 1st cut. So what do you guys think about all that? And what do you think about the June 1st, this and that and whatever? Well, hopefully we've educated our fans and helped them out.
Right. Jesse James, I think he is just he's gonna be cut, but he's not because he's not a good player. It's just because they drafted Hockenson, so you know what I'm saying. Yeah. With that being said, you gotta go. There's nothing really else to say about that. He's a pretty good player though. I mean, when he gets in, been pretty good. So,
Yeah.
What do you think, Curt?
I just think all this stuff coincides with what we were saying earlier. Big V's not going to be cut. Yeah, just to restructure his deal, it's just too much of a cap hit. But I think those other 2. I think that I like the June 1 cut for Coleman. And I think both of those guys, Coleman and James, could be one of those guys that's designated for a June 1st cut. You can cut them now so they can start, looking at other teams to get on and look for a market for themselves. So they can agents get to work. But I'm all for letting those guys walk.
Yeah, me too.
Next up, our friend Shefty, like I know him, says Kenny Golladay may avoid a franchise tag after turning down $18 million from the Lions in 2020. Hey, Shefty did go to the University of Michigan, so you know how we do it. All right, so we will go blue. Wolverine fan. Go blue all day. So I think there's a chance with the new regime in Detroit that they could opt not to tag him at all, which means I think they would probably use it on Romeo Quar. But which that's my personal opinion, which would allow him to become one of the most coveted free agents out there. Remember when Brad Holmes said he got to do what's best for the team and what's best for the player. So
Yes.
we'll see whether the Lions do decide to use the tag by 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. I think there's a chance they won't.
This is interesting because it was Schefter who said that Kenny Golladay would be franchised. That's where that came from, was Adam Schefter. And now he's backtracking, saying, "Oh, I don't think so." And I told everybody, I said, "Nope, he's not going to be here. They are going to let him walk or trade him."
I just, man, you can't let that be the third Pro Bowl player to walk. You can't.
You can.
You can't do it.
I understand what you're saying, Mike, because of the fact that if you look at what the Lions, and this is, we have a history of the homegrown talent that we draft a guy, he becomes a Pro Bowl or all Pro caliber player, and we let them walk somewhere. Dominican Sue. We ship out players like Quandre Diggs and Darius Slay, and you put these are guys that you drafted to your team. And the only two in recent memory that we've kept that reached those type of pinnacles, at least Pro Bowl, and that we kept for a long period of time is Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford. That we've kept for a sustained period.
Sue's situation was a little bit different because we had Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford, and that was before the rookie salary cap.
Yeah,
so we were paying them veteran money, and just you can't keep everybody under the cap. This situation's different because Kenny Golladay, for how good he is, takes up a lot of money. I think they're going to let him walk. They're going to let him test the free agent market, and he may even come back at a lower price. I've been saying that too. I think this is going to be a saturated market. I think players are not going to get what they expect.
Receivers out there on the market. I believe the free agent market is going to get flooded because that's a position that you can cut because of the fact that there's going to be a plethora of young wide receivers coming into the league. So I believe that you can cut some veteran wide receivers and maybe let them test the market if they can't get what they want. It's going to be, like we said before, Jim, a lot of 1 year prove it deals because of the fact that they're not going to get that money because of what the situation is with the cap and the COVID-19 crisis. So
now here's a news story that broke yesterday or late last night. NFL free agency 2021, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys agreed on a contract extension worth a record $126 million guaranteed. He'll average $42 million a year over the first 3 seasons. There's some voidable years. It's a 6-year deal with a voidable after 4 years for Adam Schefter. This is a big deal, and the reason it's a big deal is because now the Cowboys have their quarterback of the future. They've decided on Dak, So, that's strange to me. I didn't think they were going to do that, but there you go.
Andy Dalton helped that. As soon as they had Andy Dalton play, Dak was like, yes, he can't win nothing.
Yeah, that was a pretty horrible division. That was funny.
I'm sorry. My dad's happy right now. So shout out to Mike Jones Sr. He's happy right now.
Okay.
The last one we got is the Tennessee Titans are shipping Isaiah Wilson to the Miami Dolphins. Isaiah Williams will not be coming to Detroit, which I didn't think he would anyway. Tennessee is shipping the former first rounder to Miami. The Titans are also sending a 7th round pick to acquire Miami's 7th round pick in the trade. So here's the deal with that. Upon a little research, Isaiah Wilson and Brian Flores, who was the head coach of Miami, they went to the same high school. Now, of course, not at the same time, but that's their kind of they're kind of tied together in that manner. So I can see that happening. He can kind of put that influence on them, say, hey, we both, grew up in Brooklyn, so, Brooklyn's son, and he can kind of get him in line, that way. But I didn't see him coming to I mean, look at the track record coming in overweight. You know, it was a big issue with him down in Tennessee, and I hope he can get a fresh start. And um, it's only like a seventh round pick, so it's like pretty much they can just cut bait if he's not, what he's
Right.
cracked up to be. So they can be like, hey, it only cost us a seventh round. You can tip your server on the way out. Safe travels. But uh, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I can see that working for Wilson being under Flores in Miami.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
does.
today's question of the day is: do you like the moves that have been made so far? And do you agree with us on who should be cut next, or do you have some other people that you have in mind that might be able to be cut or restructured? So those are the things that we're asking you today. What do you think of the moves so far, and who would you cut next? So now it's time for my favorite part of the show, the dessert with Curt.
All right, it is coming from one Mr. Michael Brockers, the defensive lineman
Oh,
from the Los Angeles Rams, who said a
all
couple of
right.
days ago that, of course, Matthew Stafford is a level up from Jared Goff. However, he came back and gave Jared Goff some love. So recently in an interview, he said, of course, what you guys are getting in Detroit is a tough-minded player. He's mentally and physically tough. He's a great leader. He said, hell, he played in the Seattle game. He beat the Seahawks in the playoffs with 9 fingers. Talking about he came off of that, you know, bum surgery within like 2 weeks to play in a playoff game. I think we know another player that kind of has that type of mentality as well, going out to LA. So, but that's it. Michael Brockers giving him some love. He's the same one who kind of like threw him under the bus, but he kind of like dusted him off and kind of stood him back up. That comment on saying how tough of a player he was coming to Detroit. So shout out to
Dusted
Mr.
him off.
Brockers. Thank you for that. Now I did say a few weeks ago I interviewed a friend of mine right after the Matthew Stafford trade happened. Um, he's the LA Rams guy. His name is Sheriff Joe Bags. He
Yes.
runs Ram Showcase over there, and he said the same thing. He says that he is a really tough, mentally tough player. He's a hard leader. He shakes stuff off. He said that he's that quiet strength leader, and where he may not be as vocal, but he is a physically and mentally tough NFL quarterback. He's going to need it because he's going to take a lot of hits in Detroit.
Yes, he is. Well, I don't know if we build our offensive line a little
Hopefully, we
better.
can build that offensive line
Right,
better.
right. If
I'm
Big
hoping
V
so.
goes to right guard and we draft the right tackle, what? Who said that?
I think it was Michael Jones.
Okay.
Or we
Hey,
get Trey Turner and we kick Big V out to tackle.
hey, I picked and I my draft I picked the offensive tackle.
Slater. I
Just
like that
saying,
pick too, by
pick
the way.
Slater.
I do like that
Pick
pick.
Slater. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. All right,
All
hey,
right.
hey, it's time for us to go ahead and get on out of here. Close out the show. I know it's been fun with my man Mike and Tim over here. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. You're home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And as always, subscribe to the channel. Join the family. We don't got fans. We don't got viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Now, you can go over to bellyupsports.com and check out the audio version of this show. You can click the link down below. And you can listen on what? Some Skull Candy headphones. Some great deals are in the description. You can get some great audio equipment from Skull Candy over there. And a portion of the sales from that link go to help us grow this show for you. And it is a great Tuesday. Hump Day is coming. 4 o'clock today. 4 o'clock. We're gonna get that cap deadline. So tune in tomorrow to hear what our thoughts are on the tag situation with Kenny Golladay or Romeo Acquire. You never know what might happen. Hey, as you go about your day, you know what you got to do. Whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, boss up, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man Jim and Mike, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.